there before us. And that's how we started doing our vision and realizing that it works. You know, we did our club afterwards and with other guys. We didn't have all the guys, but those guys got better and we have a great team and it's like a family for me. I don't have any brothers or sisters, but my paddlers are my family and I'm proud to paddle with guys like that, and they give it all in even though they're not big. It's not a judgment of are you big or what, and I'd rather have a lower, you know, a paddler that's not as good as this one, but he has better heart and better, you know, tahoe, we say that in Tahitian, better, the one that get together. Huh? If he comes and say, oh yeah, but when there's a little problem, hey, you know, I'm better than you. Huh? You know, it's, if you have that attitude, that's what can break you too. Huh? Gotta try to look, watch, and even me, I'm still learning things and watching things. That's all that counts, as long as you're open, you don't think you know it all already. It's all about the feeling, like I said, feel what you're doing. Don't try, well, everything I've learned, do it slowly and try to do technique after technique. Sometimes it takes a week before you find that just a little wrist, and then you gotta find the shoulder or just a little shoulder with a way to do it. Me, when I'm tired at a race, sometimes at the end, I'm just like this. Pa, pa, with the wrist, you know, pa, 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 because my arms are short, so I'm not pulling with the arm anymore, but I'm still going, you know. You gotta sometimes variate to your way of paddling, you know, change a little bit, paddle a little bit, just for a couple ones, and then change again, so that it rests other muscles too. My way of paddling is, when I get really tired, I just do it like that, and then when my arms are rest again, I can paddle a little bit with the arms and rest a little bit the back. Variate between the arms and the back too. On the 6-man, you need a lot more the back than on the 1-man. Huh? And it's smoother on the 1-man too. On 6-man, you can exaggerate more. Especially here, the canoes are longer, bigger, so you can exaggerate more. In Tahiti, it's like surfing a longboard or a shortboard. You know, the shortboard is more, you know, wobbly, and you gotta go more slow and be more technical the way you push on it too. Huh? Unless you try hard like Shell guys. Just it's like a machine, huh? EDT and OPT too, and paddling is a good team too. And I think we have that advantage too, to have the professional teams who bring the level up, and we're happy to beat them because they have a guy from Huahine, a guy from Bora in their team, a guy from Tuamotu Islands, from the Austral Islands. They get it everywhere and they have him in Tahiti, and we're happy when just for us from our island we're able to beat them. And we believe in our technique even more after those performances, and try to keep it doing the same way, and trying to wait until we find the young bloods and come and do it after us, you know.
Can you talk a little bit more about the breathing? Like what are you doing with the breathing? Where's the inhale? Where's the exhale?
Like always, like you always exhale more than you inhale. Huh? I mean slower. Huh? Like. You know, always breathe. Eh? If you go, and then you start going. You gotta really, not always, but at least make sure you breathe out often, all like when you're running all the way out, you know, just like.
Consciously making a noise while you're paddling? Are you consciously like making that?
It amps me out too. I go like that too. Everybody's got to find their music, you know, you know what I mean, huh? But really exaggerate, huh?
Is your breathing matching your stroke rate?
Yeah. Like I said, the faster the stroke, the faster the breathing, like I was doing, yeah. You couldn't see it, excuse me, yeah. Like I was telling you, huh? I told you that, remember? When we were practicing, huh? The faster the stroke, the faster the breathing. That's why I said maybe you have a breathing that's a bit slow, you know, the way you were breathing, maybe you gotta have a faster breathing, you know? When you showed me your breathing, huh? When I heard it, it was a bit slow compared to a sprint, huh? You gotta make it more breathing, like, faster, huh? But still longer when you breathe out than when you breathe in, huh? Always, huh? And every time, it's a signal. When you start to feel your muscles go hard, that's, I gotta breathe. It's very important. And then you feel better again, you know? It's better to breathe for 3 or 4 strokes and try to keep it like that, you know. It's like when you're running, you know, when you feel hard a bit, you go. That helps you feel better. I don't run though, but just to give you an example, I've run, but I'm not a good runner. I like to paddle. I'm not really into running.
You never get your breathing rate up to where it matches your straight stroke as far as like 1 breath per stroke.
No. And I always actually, as I'm paddling too, it's when I'm breathing in, that's not when I'm really pounding it. It's more. You know? It's not really breathing in that you're pounding. So as you breathe out, yeah. When you're pushing, you exhale. And when you're breathing, you have a lighter. Yeah, lighter when you're breathing in. But it's more like 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You gotta find what matches for you. You gotta feel that your muscles are not getting hard as they used to. That's what you gotta feel. You know, that means you got the right tempo with your breathing and your paddling. Because when I was younger, I used to have a friend from there. He tell me, "Oh, older guy, man, well, I'm sure when you punch, you're like." I'm like, "Oh man, don't do that. You know, that's the worst thing to do. Don't block your breathing. You know." Or maybe for the last 10 meters at the end of the 500-meter race, maybe you can do that. You know, for the last 20 meters. But if you do that, you're shot. The air is the main gas for me. Before the water and the vitamins we have or whatever in it. The number 1 gas is the oxygen. You gotta really know how to oxygen the muscles the whole way, and so you stay smooth the whole way. Maybe for the start of the race, it's okay to stay a little bit more, you know, on each side, just as at the start, you know. But afterwards, it's better to change regularly, so you don't harden up too fast, you know. It's like when you do stuff for muscles, you know. If you do only 5 and then you change 5 and then 5, but if you do 15 and then 15, you feel more, you know. You know what I mean? The logic,
What about in your 1-man? Like when you're in the 1-man, how many strokes do you normally take? Is it just predicated by the stroke?
Actually, the problem is that on 1-man you have to stroke you have to steer and stroke where I live. You know, I don't really paddle the OC1. The OC1 is good if you can count, you know. But I'm a steersman and I paddle the rudderless, so I'm not used to have it. I paddle more on the right, myself, than on the left, because that makes my ama lighter more often, you know, when you paddle on the left, digs it in more. So I'm often, when I'm maximum speed, I'm like ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, so the ama's going like. And even when I'm paddling on this side, I'm trying to go like this, you know. When I put down, not trying to go like this, you know. My ass trying to go like this, you know. As I'm pushing down here, I'm trying to go make it light on the ama side. I'm trying to go boom, boom, and then the ama's going when the ama just to be sitting on the water, not digging in the water. It's just touching the water, the ama. It's just there to make that you don't tip over. If not, it's gonna be dragging you. You gotta have that feeling, Make it light all the time, A lot of people, they paddle the rudderless. When I go in it, it's like that, you know, and they're way lighter than me, you know. Like for him, for example, he's a little bit lighter than me, or him, And then when I go in his canoe, for me, it's too, you know, it's not straight enough, and I'm heavier. You know what I mean? You gotta have that easy poop, poop, poop. Always have that. Have that idea in your head too, Not gonna lean on that ama. No, it's not there to be lean on. It's there to be, just in case I tip over. That's all it's there for. If not, it slows me down.
You know, on the change, do you take a full stroke or you just come over like a quarter stroke?
No, we try to be, not, you cannot, if you try to go full, you can miss it sometimes. You know, it's better to be right there as you change, and then the second one is, but like right there. But not too short either, but just as you feel good, you know. You don't want to try to go too far and better, wah. And on the last, before we change too, you know, when we call the last change, you have a little one extra, you know, everybody before we change, you know, like, you know, like everybody just a little bit more before you change,
One hard pull before you come over.
Yeah, a little more. Yeah, a little harder before for that.
When you come over, easy, or you come hard?
Not too hard, huh? Depending, you gotta be feeling good. Like I said, if you try to reach too much and then you're not really paddling hard, you gotta feel the right momentum where, wah! Hard, but without making the canoe bounce down, you know? Hard enough to keep the speed, but don't want to make it bounce, huh? You want to make it go. Not the. And
Demo in the canoe?
yeah, if you want, huh? And same for when you're jumping waves too. You know, when you're on a wave, then you wanna. You see, there's another one here. So you take the speed of the wave. You have to wait until the wave starts to go down, huh, to be able to jump it. And when you see it starting to go down, that's when you go down the wave. Not you try to stay on the top of the wave. Huh? When you see the wave is dying, that's when you try to use the speed that's left to go down and jump that little bump. And as you jump, that's when that little momentum that I have on the front is like pop, 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 pop. That's what makes you be able to jump, because your stroke is like tick, 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 right there. You know, you don't have that slower stroke. It makes you this little makes you able that just to jump the wave, and you can have a slower stroke again. Huh? Don't know if you understand what I mean. Yeah, have that little. Even when your arm is shut, you can still have that little thing. T t t t.
What about your changes? On a 6-man, what about your changes? Like,
What do you mean?
your changes different? Like, 6.
We just do it 6 or 8 strokes every side. That's all. But depending on the momentum of the wave, like I said, huh? That's how the power of the stroke changes. Huh? When you're like this, you don't want to pound it. You know, you're waiting and boom, 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 boom. Oh, here's another one. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Then it's going down. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Boo, 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 boo. That's why often too, sometimes we don't paddle, we just do that little movement, you know. Then the canoe just stays in it like that, you know, and when you do like that, it bounces at the same time, so if there's a little bump, you can jump the little bumps too. That's different though, you gotta be in a good surf, huh? And everybody just goes, and you breathe every time you're on that wave. You breathe, you bring your hand higher on the 6-man. That's where you rest again and you're ready for the next one, you know. When the next one comes, okay, put your hand back down again. And when you're on one side and you're almost getting the wave, sometimes you gotta keep on paddling on the same side. It's all about that too. The captain's gotta know when to change and when not to change sides before you get the wave, you know. If you're like right there, you're like poo, 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 hey, poo, 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 you know what I mean? The time you change it went like that, you know. You gotta wait until it's really going too, huh? It's technical, huh? The captain too, huh?